Flight TV, Mr. Top Flight Films. How's everybody doing today? You see the title, right? Trump's crackdown on crime. Are you ready? That's what we talking about today. That's how we gonna chop it up. Um, I wanna first say that this is out of what I'm about to say is really out of compassion. It's not out of condemnation. I was once young myself, and I understand what goes on. I understand the mind of a young black kid. Well, most young black kids, a lot of young black kids. So I want to say this with love, um, but it's gonna be some truth as well. Uh, I'm seeing a lot of denial in the black community. I've been battling with it myself, trying to figure out, well, shit, is it that bad? Is it not that bad? And I know what it is. You understand? I know what's going on out here. I know what's going on out here. Uh, and I see a lot of denial, right? So we can't get better if we're in denial. When this shit hit the fan, right? When these National Guards and these feds hit these streets, and then one of these cities start to pop off, and the shit hit the fan, denial's not gonna help. I don't see too many people warning. I don't see too many people talking about this topic. And if they do, it's in a very condemning way. I'm not here to condemn. I'm here to have a conversation. Texas Bama, what it do? Good morning. I'm here to have a conversation. Right now, the feds and the National Guard are in D.C. I see some people are in denial. I've even seen people say D.C. is not dangerous. The youngins know what time it is. The kids, the youth in D.C., the good kids, they know what they know. They like, yeah, sure, bring them in. They're not bothered by this shit. From what I've saw, I've been watching. I've been going out of my way to feel the pulse of the city. I was out there yesterday. Um, the young kids know what it is. A lot of the people that don't want to be accountable, they're acting like something's wrong. They acting like Donald Trump is lunching, like he's doing something that he shouldn't be doing. And the reality is, niggas made the block hot. The YNs, the ratchet class, y'all making the block hot for everybody. Y'all making the block hot for everybody. The YNs, the ratchet class, you're making the block hot. Don't be surprised when the National Guard is in your neighborhood. Don't be surprised, because all summer, everybody's been doing whatever the fuck they want to do. I want to say this. There is a new, as generation and generation and generations go by, it seems as though certain things are acceptable that weren't always acceptable. It seems like when grandma and them passed, and great grandma and them passed, I'ma just keep it real. A lot of the generations have digressed. A lot of the generation, I'm not saying this is for all of us. Of course, it's not for all of us. Me personally, in my generation, I feel like I have held the crown for my kids. I have held the integrity from my mother and father, and I have upheld certain values and systems in my life that I incorporate with my kids. But it seems like in our community, and I spoke on this probably 7, 8 years ago, there's an anything goes mentality. And it's gotten worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. It's an anything goes mentality. I understand everybody has crime. White people have degenerates. Chinese people have degenerate. They have a section of their community that commits crime, that is impoverished. I understand. I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. Moving on from that, I'm talking about what's really going on. Now that we established the fact that every group has crime, every group has a less fortunate class, every group has a class of people that are impoverished. We already established that. Now we can move on to dissecting this thing and understand what to do next. You dig? I'm gonna get to the comments in a minute. All the super chats get first comment. Um, every generation, things have gotten more and more lax. The traditions that we once had are not being held up. It's a anything goes type of situation. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do. And I'm the guy that's going to say the music, the culture is what's influencing a lot of the crime, and vice versa. A lot of the crime and culture is influencing the music, and vice versa. I'm the guy that's going to say that. And I'm going to bring proof, and I'm going to show you how and why. Undisputable proof that music and the culture has a direct correlation to what we're seeing in these cities and small towns. You dig? I'm gonna show you. And I'm calm, homie. I'm calm. I'm very calm. I'm just very compassionate about this topic. So right now, Donald Trump has the feds and he has the National Guard in DC. They just extended the time. They have 30 days to clean the streets of DC up or whatever they're trying to do. I want to say this very clearly. I do not co-sign the feds or the police. I do not co-sign Donald Trump. What I am saying is, just like Donald Trump's moves have indirectly helped us within this past 6 months, I'm looking at this thing like this is another move that could help us if everybody uses it as a lesson, as motivation, as a wake-up call. If these, and I'm gonna just say it like this: if the Y ends, and I don't like that word, but we're gonna use that because even that has become popular. Just saying the word YN, the fact that the word YN is so popular, it proves my point. The word YN has become a popular term within the last year. People talk about the YN like it's cute. People talk about the YN like it's woven into the culture. A YN is typically a young boy with a ski mask, right? With a hoodie, dark clothes. This is what you think of when you think of a YN that will get violent with you. Okay? That shit has become cute in the community. You understand? So they made the block hot, dog. That's just what it is. Now every city is under the microscope. Every city is under the microscope. And when they move on from DC, they go into other cities next. You dig? And one of these cities is going to push back. I believe it might be Baltimore. I think if they go to Baltimore, it's going to be some pushback. Baltimore is a little different. Baltimore is a little different, dog. I got a feeling when they hit the Baltimore streets, it's going to be an issue, and that's what I don't want. A lot of people are like, man, well, Trump doesn't need to have that National Guard and the feds out there. Yeah, I don't believe that those measures, those drastic measures, are necessary. I believe there should have been another initiative put forward. There should have been some resources to back that up. There should have been some education. There should have been some money. They should have put some money into that neighborhood, to these neighborhoods. They should have went in there with some money and some opportunity, along with some force. You dig? I'm gonna get to the comments in a minute. They should have went. Okay, cool. You want to go in there with some force? No problem. But go in there with some money too. Go in there with some resources too. On the flip side, on the flip side, drastic times calls for drastic measures. Okay, you understand? Let me tell you, man. I don't know if y'all familiar with the DC area, but it's a known fact. If you park your car, if you go out for a nice night, nice evening with your girlfriend, and you go up into the parts of the a city where it's the club district, your car will more than likely get broken into. Do I got any DMV DC people in here? Do I have any DC people in here? Because y'all know it is a epidemic with getting your car broken into. I mean, everybody know this. I mean, and people got tired of this shit. Like, you think people weren't complaining? Y'all remember the people uptown that got carjacked by the little girl? This was last year, the year before. Little 13, 14-year-old girls, two of them. I don't remember the exact story. I know it was two 14-year-old girls. I think somebody got unalived. Carjacked them people uptown. And it's people really out here acting like it's no crime in DC. The crime is down. Did y'all see that an officer just got a settlement because the mayor and the mayor's office were deflating the crime rate numbers? Did y'all go look that up? I want y'all to go type in DC crime rate numbers being deflated. So all this talk about, oh, the crime rate is down. Well, yeah, because they deflated the numbers. This whole time when people was talking about the crime rate was down, whoa, the crime rate's down because I'm watching this shit. I'm watching this stuff in real time. I'm seeing what's going on. I'm seeing the violence interrupters hurt because somebody else done got unalived. I'm seeing all the stuff in real time. Low Main asked, you think this is the start of martial law? Well, it's a martial law in the streets of DC right now. Okay, make no mistake that it's martial law in the streets of DC. What you're seeing is martial law. Have y'all seen the checkpoints going on? The checkpoints that are going on, they stopping everybody, white, black, everybody's getting stopped. That's martial law. It's here. You dig? And normally they test things out in DC and then they move it to other areas. You dig? Grip Wilson said, "What's your lineage, sir? Are your people from Africa or the Caribbean?" I'm about to get on that. I'm FBA all day, brother. Hey Grip, man, stay right here, homie, because I gotta talk about that. I gotta talk about that. Look. Shout out to the family, right? You all right, baby? What you need?
It's good.
I know I'm about to cut it in a minute. Listen, shout out to the family, but we gotta stop this shit, cuz. So I'm telling you what's going on, and you ask me, am I FBA or not? Some of us are taking that shit. Some of us are taking that shit too far. Just because I'm saying what I'm saying that I'm not FBA, you questioning my lineage? No. What if it's the fucking truth, nigga? What if it's the truth? Look. Go look up the stats right now. Go look up how many carjackings was in DC this year alone. I think it was 54. Carjacking and stealing cars is a trend in DC. It has its own genre of music called free car music. And I love free car music. I'm a hypocrite. Okay. Whatever. I love free car music. But this is just what it is. Pissed off veteran said crime is down. I'ma say it again. I want you to go look it up because I try to be accurate on this channel. I'ma say it again. It was just exposed that the numbers were deflated. Go look that up. They just want a settlement. They just settled with an officer. You dig? Bonky said, what is FBA? I'm sorry, I really don't know. FBA is a foundational black American. That means a black American with no immigrant background. A black American whose family built the country. You dig? So before I get to the comments, I want to close and say, y'all better get ready, man. If you got family, Memphis, Detroit, Philly, Baltimore, St. Louis, if you got family out there that's running around in the street, doing whatever they want to do, living a street life, whatever the case is, they going after the cartel, they going after street niggas, you dig? They going after immigrants. I'm not gonna make it a black thing. Like I can't. Maybe it's I haven't seen the anti-blackness in this particular move that Donald Trump did. I'm having a hard time saying that. And I'm open to one of my brothers and sisters filling me in and showing me where I may be going wrong. But I haven't seen the anti-blackness in this last move by him sending the feds into the city. I haven't seen the anti-blackness. I've seen the anti-crime. You know, it's white people getting gaffled up in DC. Have y'all seen those videos? So yeah, before I get to the comments, I want to say nobody can be mad because y'all weren't speaking up. Nobody was speaking up on this lawlessness out here, on the Glock switches being fired out here, on the just niggas been doing what they want to do out here in these streets. I've been sitting back watching it. And I understand because I was once lawless. I was once myself in trouble, running the streets. I was once myself violent. I myself, and I'm not being judgmental. I understand what's going on. I'm saying this out of love and compassion because this conversation, I don't see it being had a lot. I'm not coming across like a Candace Owens or none of those raccoons. I'm talking to my people heart to heart. You dig? Um, Tell your people, man, that, they're not gonna play. They're not gonna play. We didn't think Let me tell you, them new prisons they built out in Guantanamo or in Cuba or wherever they built the prisons at, the El Salvador. Some of y'all going over there. Some of y'all going over to El Salvador. You dig? Tell your nephew. I got a nephew that's locked up right now. I, I'm not answering no calls. I'm not answering nothing. He just got out last year. I love him to death. I helped him get into rehab. He was on the right path. He decided he wanted to go and do what he wanted to do again, and he got his ass locked up. And I'm kind of glad because it's probably going to save his life. It might save him from going to El Salvador or Alligator Island, or whatever the fuck they got going on. Let me say this, man. Trump is not going to play with y'all, man. He's not going to play with y'all. Somebody got to be the grown-up in the fucking room, man. Somebody got to be the grown-up in the room because this shit has gotten out of control, man. What is going on in our culture and our cities, it's gotten out of control. It's been out of control. And either a lot of people are too scared to speak up because they don't want to sound like a raccoon, or people are in denial. I was in denial. I kind of brushed it off like, well, you know what? Every culture has crime. Yeah, every culture does have crime. And all these other cultures their crime needs to be addressed. When we talk about the European, the white community, the chomo epidemic in the white community needs to be addressed. But I'm not here to pick and point out other cultures. I'm talking about our culture because the reality is the crime in our culture is going to fall back on all of us. We already know how the game goes. We already know that when Asians commit crimes, it doesn't reflect on all Asians. You don't hear nothing about Asian on Asian crime. When white people commit crime, it doesn't reflect on all white people. You don't hear white on white crime. We're the only ones who are pushed under this propaganda of black on black crime. Let me get to these comments, man. All super chats are welcome. Pissed off veteran keeps saying crime is down. Okay. All right. You got it. I want to get some good comments, some good intellectual comments. I see a lot of trolling in the building. Y'all can troll, just be respectful. Psycho Gecko says it's not propaganda, it's statistics. No, that's fine. That's fine. Statistics are fine. But the propaganda comes in when they call it, they name it black on black crime. Let me ask you, sir, why is there no white on white crime? When Dylan Roof walked in, not Dylan Roof, because he killed black folks. When these school shooters walk into these schools and start airing shit out, when they walk into these schools and start gunning innocent kids down, why is that not labeled white on white crime? Grip Wilson, oh, okay. Charlie King said it actually is. I have never heard the term white on white crime. Okay. We got the UK in the building. Salute to you, man. Y'all hit the like button for me too. John Convoy said it's labeled that. Stop it. I've never heard it. Andy Goler says it doesn't happen 15 times a day, every day. I disagree. I disagree. It's just not reported 15 times a day. It's not reported 15 times a day. And we don't typically sit around and share fight videos and videos of white people doing crime. We don't typically do that. That's not really our thing. But for some reason, a lot of white folks, they like to sit around and post black crime all day. Like they're obsessed with it. So it's going to come across our face. I'm not saying it's not there. I just held my people accountable. That's what I'm doing today. That's what I did yesterday when I came on. But it's over promoted. It's over promoted. Shaquella C said it's gonna get worse, bro. It's like we're not understanding it no more. It's like all we do, it's like we do all this and we gets laughed at. Yeah. Yeah. So look, I'm not look. I try to be very fair over here and have real conversations. I'm not here to bullshit nobody. I understand that we got our issues, we got our problems, and it is a different type of violence that goes on in our community, and it is a lot more prevalent. I get that it's a lot more prevalent, but it's also more popularized. You got whole corporations that make millions of dollars, billions of dollars off of black destruction. You have the Real Housewives, Love and Hip Hop. You got all these things in our community where people outside our community make trillions of dollars off of it. Black destruction is $1 billion industry. Sonic Boom, what up, bro? Eddie 1985 said we all got problems. Zayd Frost says I don't live there. Is it true about all the reported crime? Let me say this, man. If you had to ask me, is it true about the crime in D.C.? It's absolutely true. I mean, I can't believe we having this conversation. It's true. I want y'all to go look up videos of U Street. All right, sure, it's not uh major violent crimes, but every weekend on U Street, it's like the Royal Rumble, and it's lawless, and they out there acting a fucking fool, and they wondering why. That's what my point today is to say, why are people surprised? Why are you wondering why? And I'm not saying this in a condemning way. I'm just saying the truth. When you ride, look, and I ain't got no problem with my dirt bike boys, but when you riding through the street and it's 50 dirt bikes and four wheelers on the main street, listen, Donald Trump's the president, homie. He's not having that shit. You dig? Do you understand? A lot of these cities are Democrat ran, and they don't care if y'all kill each other. They don't care if y'all stay in poverty. Sure, let them ride their dirt bikes around the town. Let them. It'll make them happy. A lot of these Democrats don't, and of course we know the Republicans don't care if you in poverty neither. But I'm just saying that Democrats act like they care. Um, Third Coast Jim says because your community condones and defends it. Every time a black crime happens, there's a press conference defended. See, that's you fucked up right there, Third Coast. You said black crime. You just proved my point. What the fuck is black crime? Have you ever used the word white crime? No, you haven't. So don't use the word black crime. It's very convenient to use these words. You use these words such as black crime. Y'all hit the like button for me, man. Haunted Raincoat said white crime is taking too many sauces at a Taco Bell. No. Let me tell you. Let's talk about white crime for a minute. Hey, I want everybody here to start posting. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think white crime is. Now, I'll start, okay? Now, we all know that there's a chomo problem. Okay, we know that. We know that every damn day we turn on the news or we turn on the social media, we see a teacher, men and women, men and women. You see a teacher, a police, a lot of police officers going down for messing with kids every fucking day. Every day. Tell me I'm lying. Somebody tell me I'm lying. Where's dude at? Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. Yeah, Delphonic said, watch To Catch a Predator. You'll see one black dude on there. You'll see immigrants and you'll see white folks. I'm just being honest. There's no hating what I'm saying. If we're gonna be honest here, Robert Billings says crime is crime. Bingo. Crime is crime. So why are we talking about black crime? Ozzy Crosby said, I'm deflecting. I'm deflecting from what? I just broke down what it is that my people are doing and what I believe they need to change. What are you talking about? I'm deflecting. Now I'm up north. John Covey said I'm a liar. I'm a liar about what? Yeah, crime is crime. Abdullah said, be honest with yourself. No color to crime. Okay, see, sure, I agree with you. But there's a narrative, and people in the chat are confirming that there's black crime. Third Coast Jim says, you just pointed out a school shooting is white crime. And also, I didn't say white crime. What I said was, this is what normally goes on in that community. This is just an example. Well, the reason why I had to frame it like that is because we're talking about black crime. So what I said was, you don't hear, you gotta listen as the art, man. I said, you don't hear about Asian crime, Asian on Asian crime. That's what I said. Lo Mein said, your people will never change. That's the problem. Roxanne, how you doing? Well, let me ask y'all this, since y'all so educated. Since we're talking about crimes that are specifically to one uh, group of people, what about the cartel? Who we know that the cartel mainly consists of Colombians and Mexicans. Do y'all remember when the cartel and the U.S. government teamed up to flood the streets with crack cocaine? Do y'all remember that? Oliver North, they literally brought cocaine over here. Do y'all understand that what they did is what's going on today? This so-called black crime is a direct effect of what the U.S. government did. Do y'all understand that part? Y'all want to admit that part? Can y'all at least be honest and admit that part? Joshua Madden said they made Freeway Ricky Ross. Yeah, they gave him tons of cocaine. When have black Americans ever brought in tons and tons of cocaine and flooded the whole nation? In reality, what's going on in these cities is nothing compared to the crimes that are being committed by other cultures. Let's just be real. In the grand scheme of things, in the grand scheme of things, what goes on in Chicago has nothing on the cartel. It has nothing on the CIA operatives, okay, that are bringing cocaine over here or that have brought cocaine over here. Bro, pissed off veteran said, you should have went to college. I graduated college, my man. I'm a college graduate. You dig? Josh Crone said, take accountability for your own actions. So, okay, let me get this straight. Let me get this straight. A people who built the country for free, were enslaved for 400 years, went through Jim Crow, right? They after they built the country for free, they got released with nothing, no nothing. Even some of the slave owners got reparations. Then, on top of that, they were redlined, moved to certain neighborhoods. They couldn't live in certain neighborhoods. We couldn't live in certain neighborhoods. And then on top of that, they flood those black towns and cities with cocaine. And you talking about take accountability? When will you take accountability? Ernest said, we all built this country. Sure, sure. But it wouldn't have been built without us. Right? Shiloh said, how they build the country. Who is they? Third Coast Jim says, built what country? Like 10 states had some farms. What pipeline in Alaska did slaves build? What port in California? Bruh. It's a known fact. Even Donald Trump, I'll reference Donald Trump. He told you very clearly and concise. He said black Americans built this country. And he was absolutely right. And if we didn't build the country, if we weren't needed, if we weren't a key component, if this thing could have been built without us, why would they bring some of us over here? Because some of us were already here. But why would they bring some of us over here, enslave us, if they could just do it themselves? They did all this shit, enslaved us, right? And then when they let us go, they didn't want us around. So it's a known fact that they don't want us around now. That's why they making little colonies now, little white only towns now. So if we weren't such a key factor, let me tell y'all something. Let me get deep real quick. You gotta give it to you gotta give credit where it's due. And white people are very smart. They know that if they can't get something done, they hire somebody else to do it. In our case, they didn't hire us. They enslaved us. I want you to look at this. Back in the day, they didn't know how to do a lot of shit. And they needed help doing a lot of shit as far as building the foundation of this country. And that's where we come in. And that's why we're foundational. Fast forward to 2025. If you look at the tech industry, who works in the tech industry? Who is taking over? Who are they bringing in, importing? Literally, who are they importing to bring it in and to build a tech company? Who? Yup, Zorro, my man Zorro. Yup, George. You got it, Holmes. Yeah. Very smart. You got to give it to them. You got to give credit where credit's due. They understand the concept. See, even with me, I have my own business. So if I don't know how to do something, I get somebody else to do that. Get them to do what I'm not good at so my brand looks good. So right now, if you go into the tech companies, it's going to be Asians and Indians. They don't even respect you white Americans no more. Y'all, what the dude say? What the one dude say? What's his name? What's the Indian dude's name? Somebody help me out. Somebody help me out. Mike Anderson said, you did not build this country. Okay. I'm not here to give history lessons. If you don't know, you don't know. But most of y'all already know. You're in denial. You don't like the way it feels rolling off your tongue. You dig? Vivek, my man, sick simple. Shout out to you, homie. My man, the dude Vivek, he said, I'm paraphrasing. He basically said that we need to bring Indians over here because everybody else ain't shit. Y'all rather watch wrestling. Y'all low IQ. Y'all don't really got shit going on. Y'all can't take us to the next level. That's pretty much what he said. You sit on YouTube and make racist comments. You dig? Ty Kings, what it do, man? Y'all hit the like button for me, man. We in here deep. We in here real deep. Mike Anderson said, no, you didn't. Look, closing your ears saying, nah, that's not going to change the fact. Close, see, when we say we built the country, people like, some people like to close their ears like, nah, no, you didn't. Uh-uh, yeah, So you disagree with Donald Trump? We knew this way before Trump, but I'm just saying, he co-signed it. That's your guy, right? He said, go look up the clip where he said black Americans built this country. Mainly says, MAGA jumps in a black man's stream shouting MAGA in the comments and wonder why they label racist. Listen, I have no problem with Trump, man. I actually, I respect what Cuz is doing. I respect what Trump is doing in a lot of cases. I don't agree fully with everything that he's doing. But look, we have sat and watched so many politicians blow smoke up our ass for decades. They say they're going to do this, that, and the third, and they don't do jack shit. What I respect about Trump is he got in office and he got busy. He got busy, man. You dig? He started getting stuff done. As an entrepreneur, I can tell when somebody's getting shit done. And he's getting shit done, no matter if you like it or not. You dig? Boy, the goddamn 4chan crowd is in here deep. Damn, they in here deep. Nathan said it's these exact type conversations that will keep us divided. It's sad to be honest. No, let me tell you something, Nathan. Your comment is what will keep us divided. Let me tell you something. You got real individuals out here that will not shut up, that will not move on to the next topic. You understand that, right? You want passive Negroes to say, oh, bud, man, I forget all about what happened. No, we cannot get past it. It has not been made right. So y'all keep asking us or telling us, shh, stop talking about it. No, it has not been made right. You dig? A lot of us will never forget. You don't forget 9/11, right? You don't forget 9/11. You don't forget Pearl Harbor. You don't forget the Holocaust. Don't tell us to forget. You dig? Charlie King said, okay, let's say you helped. How do we fix the crime in the ghetto today? That's a great question, Charlie. Um, First and foremost, you gotta put some resources out there. I did not grow up in the ghetto, but I understand the ghetto. I used to run around the ghetto. You dig? And I understand poverty. I say this every broadcast. I live in a white town. It is impoverished. I live in Mountain, Maryland, and the poverty rate is so high. If you go to any of these towns in Appalachia, it's a bunch of impoverished white people. And what you'll see is, you'll see the same thing that you see on a city street in Baltimore, in certain parts of Baltimore, because not all Baltimore is poverty. But you'll see the same thing. You'll see mental illness, drug addiction. You'll see crime. So the underlying thing is it has to be resources. It has to be money. You can't forget about these towns and cities. In the town that I live in, the rich are going to look out for themselves. They don't give a goddamn who's on the other side of the tracks. You dig? Somebody said I'm not a criminal, so why would I have to get ready? I'm not talking to you then. If you're not a criminal, then don't worry about it. If it don't apply, let it fly. You dig? If it don't apply, let it fly. Rebecca Coates says African culture is in so many ways more advanced than European or Western. Yeah, shout out to African culture. I'm not African. I'm a foundational Black American. But yeah, we already know that African culture and the civilizations, some of the first civilizations was in Africa. We already know this. Of course, there's gonna be a lot of people that say, "Nah, they were white. They were this, that, and the third." No, no, no. We already know why they took their noses off. We know if you look up a sculpture, uh, 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 you'll see that the noses were shot off. Why were their noses shot off? Don't Censor Me says eliminating SNAP or using it for actual food will help us. Too many behavioral problems from sugar, red 40, and poor air quality. I'm not mad at that comment, homie. A lot of people are mad, like the Democrats are mad about SNAP, probably being shut down or limited. I'm not mad at that. I was a SNAP recipient. And the thing is, I did not want to be on that shit. I didn't want to be on assistance, dog. Because it's like somebody running your life. You know what I'm saying? It's like somebody being in your business. You got to go report to the office. And this, don't get me wrong, it saved my ass a lot of times. So I understand that there are people that actually need it until they get on their feet. I believe that, yes, a time requirement is good. A 2 year period, that's more than enough time. You dig? Somebody should be able to get on their feet in 2 years. You dig? And it might just stop. It might just stop the single mother. And I'm not talking about black single mothers, because I'm gonna say it again, I live in a town predominantly white. And there's so many single mothers, impoverished single mothers out here. Y'all talk about welfare is for black folks. No, where I live at, you go down to the Social Security office, right? It's no black people in there. You might see one or two, but come on, man. Kane Frost said, "You sound crazy." King of Farts. I don't even know what I mean reading that goddamn comment. You dig? Ozzy Crosby said, "Liar." It's just a bunch of low IQ comments in here. It's some good comments, but it's a lot of low IQ comments. Veronica said some receive it due to disability. Nothing wrong with that. I agree. I totally agree. Our disabled brothers and sisters, they should be taken care of. Absolutely, absolutely. Barry said he should be in jail. Who should be in jail? I love the fact that Donald Trump is president. Let me tell you why I love the fact that Donald Trump is president. Let me tell you, man, as long as I've been alive, we've been talking about injustice, oppression, and unfairness. As long as I've been alive. And now you see, and I'm not mad at Trump, but now that you see somebody with all these felonies could be the goddamn president, I love it. I love it. The shit speak for itself, man. The story writes itself. All these years we've been talking about unfairness. We've been talking about corruption. We've been talking about all these things, and people told us, "Shh, no, be quiet. It's not like that. There's no oppression. There's no oppression." No, hey, Charlie King. Charlie King says that kind of pisses me off. Let me tell you, Charlie, you gotta really detach emotionally from this shit. You gotta detach emotionally. You dig? I've detached emotionally a long time ago. That's why a lot of people can't figure out my political stance. They be like, "Wait, where do you stand politically?" Bruh, I stand on critical thinking. Barry Phillips says, "Only because of who he is. You go try to run for government, bro. You wouldn't get past the front." I know that. That's the point. I love it. I love it though. See, when Joe Biden was in office for the last 4 years, none of these people talked about oppression. None of these people talked about unfairness. You dig? And that's why I hate the Democrats, because they're such hypocrites. They didn't say a word about, there was nothing wrong for the 4 years when Joe Biden was in office. They didn't say nothing about nothing. Everybody walked around here, act like everything was cool when we couldn't afford jack shit. Even me, I couldn't afford nothing. It was terrible. I had a terrible time under Biden. It immediately changed when Donald Trump was inaugurated. I lied to you not. My business got better. It got better. It was dark. It was dark and grim when Biden was in office. Reg, if you want your comment read that bad, send that super chat, homie. I can't read all the comments that fast. I just can't. It's a lot of comments coming through, homie. Um, yeah, they coming quick. These joints coming quick. If you want your joint read, send that super, man. Matter of fact, yeah, you can send that super chat. Joyce Lucas said, I admire you. You are talking so much hate. You are truly a man of love and concern for humanity. And all the viewers still insist on hate. Love you, my black king. Hey, shout out to you, Joyce. Listen, man, I'm not a hateful person. It's not my nature to be hateful. I see me. Let me tell you, man. I just like the lineage I'm from, black Americans, we don't have a track record of hate. We don't have a track record of unfairness. We have a track record of fighting hate. We have a track record of fighting unfairness. A lot of the people you see in the comments, they have a track record of hate, of oppression, of oppression. They have the track record of that. I don't have that track record. Most of us, we don't have the track record of trying to get over on a whole group of people and being dominant. We don't have that track record. We are the people. Let me tell you something. We are the people who fought for civil rights. Do y'all know what that means? We had to fight the U.S. government to be fucking civilized. To be civilized. We are the people that did that. And guess what? Nobody else has to really acknowledge that, but the world acknowledges that. Shout out to Dan Sortero. He says, respect what you do. Out of Dallas. So much love. Facts. Hey man, I appreciate you, Dan. Thank you, my brother. Um, if it wasn't for foundational black Americans fighting for civil rights, I'm talking about my ancestors went out there and they got bit by dogs, they got spit on, they got beat, they got hung from trees, just so we can live in harmony, and so we can live and be free and have basic civil rights. You dig? And it's people in the comment section that are still trying to uphold the degenerate state of mind that we fought against. Uh, Tiffany said, we're not losing anything. You belong to the true loving God. You want to gain and not lose. Notice your words have power. Our job is to do our part and let God do his. I agree, man. Y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, man. We in here today. Robbie said, you didn't fight for shit. Yes, I did. I did. My ancestors did. I fight every day. I still fight in 2025. Even on this chat, even when I get on this YouTube, I'm still fighting for civil rights. I'm still going up against the comments of people telling me I need to be quiet about history. I need to be quiet about the past. Shh, be quiet. That's like a goddamn abuser telling their abused child, shh, don't tell nobody. Don't talk about what I did. Don't say nothing about what we did. No, shh. No, 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 no. No. We're gonna talk about the good, bad, and the ugly. You dig? We're gonna talk about the good, bad, and the ugly. Uh, Shout out to Howard G. My man Howard G with the super chat said, "Where's my 2 acres and a mule? I don't agree with your Trump position." All right, no problem. What? Explain, Howard. What part of the you don't agree with? Gabriel said, "Nah, bro. You just need to make some real change. Not just talk about it, bro. You grow to be talking, not acting. I don't. You don't even know me to know what I do, my man. What do I do? Tell me what I do. I made the change. I've made the change. You understand? I'm living proof. I'm a walking example of change. You understand? I'm a walking example of change. You don't know what I do in my personal life, man. You don't know who I help and what I'm about, what my mission is. But it starts here. See, what I like to do is it starts with a word. Okay, when you go to school, you learn how to do your ABCs with the word from the teacher. So it all starts with communication. You understand? So don't tell me that this is not enough. This is more than this is a lot. You understand? Because there's a lot of people out there that aren't thinking. A lot of people aren't receiving the message. Anton Xavier said, "What do you mean Trump cracking down?" Yeah, what do you mean? You don't see the National Guard and the feds in the goddamn in DC? Daryl Davis, what's up, man? Somebody said I should come to Canada. Sean, I don't not want to go to Canada, dog. Drake put a bad taste in my mouth. Pickle Sandwich said Uncle Tom. Who's an Uncle Tom? Emilio said West Side Pyru. No, no, the gangbangers done pulled up. There's no West Side Pyru over here, sir. Yes, sir, said because actions speak louder than words. And someone is out there with a whole lot of action. What's the definition of enough? So what you're saying is, you know what I do when I get off of here. That's what you're saying, right? What I'm saying is, certain things start with a teacher. It starts with a message. Everything starts in the mind. You dig? Ozzy Crosby said, "So are you okay with all the crime in DC? You must have missed the beginning of the video. I spoke on all that. Of course, I'm not okay with crime anywhere. I'm not okay with crime in Mountain, Maryland. Okay, I'm not okay with the crime in West Virginia. You dig? Daryl Davis says, "Do you think the days of Noah were more corrupt than today?" Daryl Davis, I'm gonna keep it a buck, man. You asking the wrong one, bro. I don't really do the whole. I don't really do the whole Noah thing. Gailey Hughes says, "Why you vaping?" Yeah, it's a bad habit. Ozzy Crosby, I'm not even going to address the whole all slaves weren't black because whatever. You had indentured service and Irish. The Irish were indentured service. The fact is, nobody has ever suffered the atrocity like black Americans. I'm talking about hundreds of years of slavery, psychological slavery. So we not even gonna get into that because it's been debunked many, many times. Do your homework, man. Christian said mostly everybody is an immigrant. I don't know why they discriminate color, brother. We're all equal. Well, yeah. Listen, there are a lot of immigrants out there, but Black Americans are not immigrants. You dig? Black Americans are not immigrants. Mike Anderson said, "Why don't nobody care that there's more slaves in Africa right now than there was?" Bro, you need to talk to Africa about that. I'm an American, and I'm talking about America. You dig? Gabriel says, you were brought here as a slave. How do you know my lineage, sir? Gabriel. Now, let me explain something to y'all. Foundational Black American. You know 3%, do you know 3% of the slaves that came from Africa landed in America? Ended up in America? Y'all know that? Do you know the other slaves were already here? Do you know there were native tribes that were reclassified as Negro? Do y'all know that? I personally, my mother's side of the family are Native Americans. You dig? I got another, my man came through with the super chat. Shout out to you, Howard. My man Howard G said, I can't support a president that constantly violates the Constitution for and is convicted racist and rapist. Now, Howard, let me address you, my brother, and I agree. And I can't say I support Trump. I don't I don't disagree with everything he's done, and I can't say I support him. Now, many presidents have violated that Constitution, if not in a technical way, in a moral way. As far as being a convicted racist, Donald Trump says racist shit sometimes. He does. But those Democrats, Joe Biden, he's actually implemented racist policy that has incarcerated who knows how many black people. You understand? The Democrats practice racism as well. Now the rapist thing, I don't know what that man, who or what he's done. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But I do know that a lot of presidents were grapists. We do know that a lot of the presidents, especially the ones we walk around with in our pocket, they were human traffickers. They were degenerates. You dig? And people uphold them, and they have respect for them, and they honor them. And it's nothing new to me. So when people make Trump seem so bad, I'm like, whoa, like all these motherfuckers was what we talking about? Like, it's nothing new to me, man. Toltic Ways says, what tribes are black Americans from? You're gonna have to look that up. There's a bunch of tribes. You got Choctaw, you got other, my family, my mother's side is Nanticoke. And I can take you to the town. We can go to the museum and we can see my family in a museum. You dig? So they try to make it seem like we all came from Africa, we're African. No, 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 no. Most people know the truth. Most black households, nobody ever told them they was from Africa. They always talked about their indigenous, aboriginal history here on this land. Sahara's True Life says, my mom family are Cherokee. As most, this is a research, this is some homework for y'all that don't believe. Because I know some of y'all got black friends, right? I want y'all to go ask them. I want y'all to go ask them, has their family ever told them they were from a Native American tribe or Aboriginal tribe here in America? Your mom says, are you claiming black people are Native Americans? Some black Americans, yes, absolutely. Well, the thing is, I won't say Native Americans, I'll say Aboriginal before the Native American. I'll even go out and let me say that. Miles Friedman says, you fake. Swagger Like Us says, not gangster, just a critical thinker. If you know history, Africans don't have Neanderthal, nor genetics. Hence, we weren't the first either. Ricky Huber says, Semper Fi, brother. What's up, Ricky? Y'all hit the like button, man. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. We chop it up like this all the time, man. All the time we get into these good conversations. And soon, man, I'm gonna have guests on the show. I got an office already. It's just not, I had an office built in my basement. I just gotta decorate it. You dig? I've been bullshitting on decorating it. But we gonna have it set up to where people can pop on the show and come talk and voice their opinion, and we can disagree or we can agree. You dig? So y'all make sure y'all subscribe, man, so we can lock in. Huskies for Life says, ha, 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 that's a crock of bullshit. All right, okay, we'll find out what I already know. DL says, you served America talking racist. No, I didn't serve America, and I'm not talking racist. The new thing is, when you talk about racism, that's supposed to be racist. And that just, nobody's buying that shit. You dig? That's the new, they try to twist it now, like, oh, you're talking about racism? You're racist. I'm like, come on, man. Bent Bickle said, thanks for streaming. Okay, Pickle Sandwich says, Top Flight TV supports racism. Your mom says, I don't 100% agree with what you were saying, but it's not racist. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Jared Lakely said, you have been spitting facts all day. Salute to you, my brother. Appreciate you. Listen, I gotta go. My son got a football game here soon. I gotta get myself together. Big shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Make sure y'all go follow the Instagram page. It is topflight_TV. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're gonna get back to these good comments. These good conversations this week. I will be back probably tomorrow. And we're gonna chop it up, man. You dig? Shout out to everybody, man. Y'all have a good day. Peace.